what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scottie Upshall in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas,
Updog, Princey, good to see you, boys. Hey, Updog, I got to be honest, fella. I'm harder on you a lot during the regular season. Tough love, but I've missed you, buddy. I got to be honest. I've missed you. It's good to see that mug.
it sure is, buddy. It's nice to see that face all glowing, nice tan. Right back from Barcelona, bud. I know you had a good trip. It looked beautiful. Princey, it's nice to meet the trio here again. Summertime's been quick, buddy. I remember the NHL days of summers going by too fast. I feel like this is one of those, but it's nice to have you guys back in the studio, aka our houses. But pleasure's all mine, boys. Welcome back.
Yeah, I mean, Updog, Princey, before we turn over to you, Updog, you're right. It's August 6th right now. This was the time where I'm like looking at my calendar going, I gotta stop eating and I gotta start getting on the bike here. The boys that are training right now, they know that training camp's right around the corner, huh?
Yeah, speaking around the corner, there's a special guy's birthday around the corner too, and then we were always planning a nice day for you at the end of summer. I'm like, fucking, this guy gets his birthday every year at August 9th. Fucking guy's lucky he gets all his boys around him for his birthday. Then Loops and I have our training camp birthdays that we go off to, where we're just sitting, watching fucking Game of Thrones, hanging out, just being good guys. But no, it's a special time of year, bud. All the guys are getting back in the gym. Guys like you and me, Obi, just started skating. And for us now, old fuckers, we're getting back in the studio talking shop.
This is about when we would start skating, eh? Started August. We were like, let's get in there. Let's get on that. These guys, they don't take time off now. I saw a video like when I was over in Europe of Matthews or someone there, or Crosby, just snapping it around like first week of July, second week of July. I'm like, holy fuck.
Well, I mean, look at how fast these bastards are nowadays. Games.
That's true.
Games change. These guys are too good. I mean, if you miss a day here and there, we used to come back a better guy. Now, if you miss a day here or there, you're slow. You're slow. You can't shoot. You can't stick handle. You can't fuck. It's not perfect.
You're saying rest is not a weapon anymore. Eh? Rest is not.
These young bastards. I mean, yeah. It's when you watch them. You watch their Instagram videos of their training and stuff now too, and they just all take it to another level. And we'll get into it, but these young bastards, this little Team Canada that they just put together for this Helenka Cup, man, I watched some highlights of them. They're looking good. These kids, man, they're fucking good players.
They were snapping around last night against Switzerland. I'm all jet lagged. Updog, I'm all fucked up. I'm falling asleep, waking up. So it was on, and I'm just like, they were just low to high, D to D, up there, hit the guy in the middle. I'm like, how old are these kids? This is under 18, right?
Under 18s, bud, and they're good. And they're good.
Princey, fella, good to see you. First and foremost, thank you for a great month of July, buddy. The curfew calls have been unbelievable. The best of the fellas that have been listening to the best of, everyone loves it, buddy. So way to hold the fucking fort for the boys is what I'm saying. And by the way, sick of these curfew calls real quick, boys, before you get in Uppy's world, which I can't wait to fucking dive into Uppy's world here. These curfew calls, Updog, you got to smack me in the fucking face or something. or push me off like, my beautiful girlfriend, Mac Miller, God bless her. Like, she was like, what the hell is going on here? And I'm like, baby, it's just a locker room feel, we're talking about years ago, but the first 2 weeks, boys, everything that came out, I'm like, oh my God, did I really say that? Did I really say that?
I think on podcasts, especially ours, I think the statute of limitation goes back at least 6 years. I mean, if it happens 6 years or beyond, I think it's a free hall pass, and shout out. That's a free promotion for our sponsors, our producer there, AL. But I mean, what are we talking about here? 6 years ago, the boys need to share, just how our lives were back then.
Totally.
We weren't that bad.
No, but Updog, it wasn't even like I went out of my way to text her. I'm like, hey, Mac Miller, I got to be honest with you. Hey, like this curfew call stuff, like this is just being the Updog going back down memory lane, the locker room stuff, like. Sorry, babe. She's like, no, I get it. But I was like, the first 2 weeks, I was texting both you guys going, holy jeez, man, hands up.
I often say, like, for example, you meet new guys around town in the summer and you're hanging out and you tell them what you do and you tell them, if you like hockey, you'll like our show, Missin Curfew. And then they're like, well, what should I download? And I'm like, just hit any of these curfew calls things. And then I go, it's basically banter that we dig up, we lift rocks, we look under beds, we find stories that just come to our, to just pop up out of nowhere, just because Obi and I had known each other for fucking 15 years. And then the shit that we did or why we started the podcast, and guys know this stuff. So they egg us on with these questions. And then we start talking about who knows what that our mother shouldn't listen to. And
yeah.
And then here we are apologizing to our girlfriends after. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, babe, it was years ago. Man, back when me and the Updog were, young. And so I showed her the clip that came out of me and AV when I'm like chirping the media or chirping AV in the media. And she was just like, you were just a young punk, huh? I'm like, yeah, that is a young punk right there. That you're seeing right there. That is just a young, cocky punk that thinks he's better than he was. Without further ado here, though, Uppy's World. Party time. Excellent. I was in the golf course yesterday and someone's like, where's Updog? I go, I got to be honest with you. I don't fucking know. He's somewhere between Newfoundland and Aspen. Where are you, bud?
I'm back in Aspen, bud. I've been bossing around some landscapers here at the house here the last 2 days. I got a team of 6 of, the finest guys that get their hands dirty. But listen, no, it's like I said, summer's been by so fast, boys. I've had a lot of great times. I was very, very happy and pleased to get back to Newfoundland. We spent Izzy's fourth birthday there last week. Mom, Dad, my brother Brento, who's obviously, he's a legend in our world here. Brento was there with his 3 girls. But we just missed George Street, Obes. And I'll tell you what, we had Chris Ryan out one night. The first night he came over for dinner. My dad did the lobsters, the steak. And we went down to Shamrocks, caught him playing again on a Monday night. And I'm like, buddy, Chris, I know you're playing. He played the first night at George Street Festival the day I left. And I'm like, I had to switch my whole trip around because Brento, like his oldest girl's going to the St. Mary's in San Francisco. She's going to boarding school. So I'm like, I got to cut this trip short and I'm missing George Street. And that was me and Obi's prime. It was like our prime fella tour date was coming into George Street Festival, which we cannot miss next year. I mean, I say that Todd Bertuzzi's there right now. Danny Cleary was there. I ran into Danny Cleary the first night and he's like, you guys you're crazy to leave first night at George Street Festival. I told him, I'm like, listen, I got my family here. I'm kind of fucked. But, Obi, we got to do that. Princey, you're going out to PEI. It's a beautiful place, but there's not just the savages that you're going to find on George Street. And I mean, no, I can't wait. I can't wait to take you boys there for that. I mean, Obi, you got a little taste of it last year after George Street Festival, but it's a time we got to get there for it.
Listen, I got it figured out. I was talking to Chris Ryan, that beauty. Love that guy. He's like, where are you? He sent me a picture of you and up. You and him going in there. You got the guitar over your shoulder, like you're going in to play the fucking stuff. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Then I saw a video up there of you singing again at the bar that we were at, Shamrocks, which is unbelievable. But listen, Updog, I got it. Billy Quinn next year. We go over there. We're gonna go to Scotland and play the courses that Loops is playing right now. St. Andrews, Carnoustie, whatever, Turnberry. Then we're gonna go to Hogshead and play Hogshead, and then we'll come back and we'll hit George Street. So keep your calendar empty for that time. That's what we're gonna do. I already talked to Billy Quinn. He's in. Yeah.
Our 10 days. That's what we're doing. 10 days of that. We only need 1 or 2 nights in George Street Festival. So shout out to those guys. My whole family, it was great. As you guys know, we do so much of this podcast stuff, and I got young kids. It's hard to get home, so it's nice. It's nice to get like there in the Newfoundland fucking, the air, just eating the codfish. Me and my dad and Brento went out one day. We caught like 12 fish, brought them home. My dad did a full fucking fish and chips cookout. I thought of you, Obes, because you were in UK at the time doing your thing there. Bust out the monkey butt. But yeah, no, it was great. And then, we had a great weekend this past weekend. We were, I had one of those buckhorn social parties, Obi, that those boys throw on the side of the mountain. And I had Bertuzzo in town. Shout out to our free agent frenzy stud of a human being, Rob Bertuzzo. He drove up from he drove up from Denver, and we golfed one day at Snowmass. We got our asses kicked by a couple guys here. And then we did this party up on top of Ajax. Like we drove up, Mac L, Larissa, me, Christina, Bobo. We drove up to the top of this mountain and we're up on top past the gondola, Obes. And these guys had the DJ set up, big campfire, barbecue, and then like the lights, like the sunset came out, stars, and then the little bit of the mushrooms started to kick in, and the boys were just having a time. It was me, not so much Bobo, but it was fantastic. But the things you just get to do here around town, like, you know, I got the kids. We did this, just a highlight for the kids this weekend was this rubber ducky like race. Okay, 30,000 rubber ducks go from one part of the river, Roaring Fork, and they race like a 20-minute race for $1 million. And if you pick the one rubber ducky for the $1 million, like it gets to the end, everyone's, you know, it's an incredible thing for charity here in Aspen. So that was $1 million bucks. Yeah, you get a chance to win $1 million.
I'm surprised you didn't dive in head first in that fucking river.
No, your rubber ducky's got to win. It's just a rubber ducky.
Oh, rubber ducky. Okay. I thought you had to pick the right. I thought you had to pick the right rubber ducky. I'm like, Updog will be doing the fucking butterfly in there.
No, you had to buy the rubber duckies before. They just launched 30,000 of them in the river, and then they race it out. And
only
so,
in Aspen.
Yeah, and then, you know, boys, I mean, the weather's been beautiful. The biking. I'm just, thank God I didn't get hurt. I knock on wood. I still got another like 5 days here, but you know, just been a lot of outdoor activities, a lot of waking up with coffee and Baileys and a little Bloody Mary, just to set the tone, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's been a nice vacation. You get to really like spend some good quality time with your kids. Me and the missus we're still together. That's good.
Still together? That's good. That's good.
It's great. You know, another summer gone by, still together. That's fantastic.
I think you're playing with house's money now, and the over's hit. You're playing with house's money now.
That line on DK Sportsbook, I think I've been flying with flying colors. So yeah, no, it's nice. And we got the in-law. We got Matt and Emily here in town with their girls. So busy house. And Sheldon just got back into town. He's doing a little hockey thing for Colorado Extreme. I'm wearing the hat today. Shout out to those boys. But Bedard just got in town. So they're starting up their program with all the kids. I'll be over at the rink with them a little bit. But it's been a fantastic month, and missed you guys dearly. And Obes, I can't wait to get into your segment, the O'Brien Does Europe 2.0.
O'Brien bangs down fish and chips 2024. Hey, Updog, first of all, sticking with Uppy's world, I love that you got out there to St. John's with Brento. Just good to, because like you said, last year we stopped in on the way back from Ireland. Your old man's got a goddamn compound? What do you want to call it?
Compound. No, it's a beautiful place.
Unbelievable. So Brento, I texted him last year. I'm like, Brento, you got to get out there. You and the Updog together. So I saw some great pics of that. And then you mentioned his daughter going away to school. Brento got her this sick new whip, This brand new Buick SUV.
I know. Made me cry. Fuck, I know. Shit.
Hey?
Yeah. So he, it's a big thing when his oldest daughter's moving away, and she's not just moving away. I mean, she's basically moving to San Francisco, to a school run by Dominic Pittis. Shout out to Dominic Pittis. You had him as a coach in Calgary, right? Oops.
I sure did.
I played with him in Milwaukee and Nashville. He's not a bad guy. So he runs their program.
Bit of a nerd, but not a bad guy.
He runs their program. I'm sure he's going to hear this. A little bit of a nerd. That's okay. You
know
what? A good two-way forward, snaps draws back.
Yeah.
And I feel not good for us. Between him and Brent Gilchrist at the time, who took my job, I'm like, what the fuck? You know what? I feel like he's a good guy for the job to teach these kids. Like they have a great little program there. They got lacrosse. I think they have baseball, and then the new hockey program. And I'm pumped. It's a learning experience for like a young 16, 17-year-old girl who's leaving home for the first time. And Brento, you got to buy her a whip that's not going to break down. You can't send her away with like the 1995 Honda.
My old man sent me away to junior with a fucking 86 Saturn that didn't have power steering. And that's why I was like, fucking. I was like, wow, Brento, nice car. That's a sick whip. I might trade my X-Fixin for that.
Well, totally, man. Brento works hard. Him and Shannon both work hard to raise 3 kids, up in Fort Mac. It's not easy, especially those winter times.
Yeah.
So it was pretty. I was fucking shed a tear, bud, when I watched that. I was like, wow, good for you, Brento. And then
You're getting
I told Emma, I said, listen, you got about 3 weeks to beat my record. When my dad bought me my first vehicle, I crashed it in the first snowstorm in Fort Ford Ranger Splash. I pulled into the Peter Pond shopping center and I just sideswiped it on a pole. And I was like, where did that come from?
Where'd that pole come from? Fuck.
That was my fault. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so I said she's got 3 weeks to beat my record until, she crashes that, knock on wood.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Brento. I'm happy for you that you guys got together. But seriously, on Dominic Pittis, let me before, in case he does, he's a good guy. He actually in Calgary.
Good guy.
He was a skill coach. He kind of went out of his way to try to help me. He knew how far I was in Bob Hartley's doghouse. He was like trying to help me. I'm like, Dom, it doesn't really matter what you do here. Like, I'm not getting out of the doghouse. But he's not a bad guy. He was like, he tried to be like that kind of good guy in a tough situation. So in all honesty, he was a good guy, Updog. I'll tell you what, though, Bob Hartley might have treated him, no, not worse than me, but Bob Hartley was hard on Dom. Anytime Dom fucked something up or something, Hartley would let him. I'm like, Hartley's just, this guy's probably the nicest guy in the organization, and Hartley still treated him like a fucking dick. And Dom just took it. I was like, why don't you give it back to this guy?
He took it as an assssistant coach? Or
he was
no,
our skills coach. He was our skills coach. Yeah, like he was like our skills kind of, like if you weren't playing, which was me a lot every night, I'd have to go get bag skated by Dom. And then he would do skill stuff with the guys, face-offs, shit like that. You know, Updog?
Totally.
Uppy's world, party time. I love it, Updog. As for me, boys, I'm like Uppy. It's been great. It's been a nice little break. I got to see my family up in Muskokas, Updog. Every time I'm on the lake, Ups, I got to be honest, I think of you and Loops and just be like, we didn't spend enough time on the lake when we were younger together. We don't spend enough time now on the lake. I mean, it's honestly one of my happy places, dude. Flying around on the boat. I went water skiing, hurt my shoulder. My shoulder's still fucked up. I don't even know if I can golf, but I'm going to try this weekend. But water skiing, I got up, but I paid the price, Updog. I was so sore, man. Like for 2 days, I couldn't move. I had to get someone come give me a massage at the house. I called Jill. I'm like, Jill, you got to get anybody over here. I'll pay whatever. I just need a massage. I couldn't even move up, so I was so in one.
Let me ask you, when you fell, did you hold on to the rope? Is that how you hurt it?
So it was the first time up here. I haven't water skied since fucking junior hockey with Richardson on Oak Lake. So I had a good boat. So I had a dual engine jet boat. So my brother-in-law gets in there. I said, just fucking punch it. So the first time he punches it, and I wasn't quite ready, and it just jerked my shoulder. And I let go of it. And then the next 2 or 3 times, I got up every time and skiing. But I think it was that initial jerk that's fucked something up here in the back. It's in the backside, Ups. It's on the backside. It's in one.
When you can get away with a summer not getting fucked up, not getting hurt, so you don't miss any golf or you don't miss any unnecessary time doing fun shit, it's a bonus. Because you know how I am. Do a headstand at a party, do a backflip off the boat, whatever, hurt yourself. I don't know. It's a bonus when you don't get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I was loving the lake besides that, but it was a great time there, Ups. And then going over to Europe, I've been to London with you and Loops. Made me realize that I didn't see a whole lot of the city, just a bunch of nightclubs with you beauties. But what a great city, man. Honestly, Updog, I had the fucking pen with me. I was just hitting the pen, rolling around pubs, drinking beers, eating fish and chips. But we were getting the 3 days we were in London, man, we almost got 20,000 steps each day. We were just bombing around. It's honestly one of my favorite cities. I want to go back every year if I can. Honestly, it was that great. And the beer over there, Updog, I'm telling you, buddy, for 12 days straight, I just kept the buzz going. Get up, go for a little walk, hit a pub. Same thing in Amsterdam, and then in Barcelona, just on the beach. But the beer over there, my man, it's delicious.
Well, everyone's drinking it too, by the way. There's not if you ask anyone for a beer there, they would say, yeah, sure, I'll have a beer with you. It's not like, no, I don't drink beer, gluten, I have a gluten allergy. These boys just rock and roll. I feel like the girls too. And because you can drink on the streets, like you walk around Soho or you walk around Piccadilly Circus or whatever the hell it's called. You can just fucking grab a beer, stand outside, have a pint, enjoy sunshine, because they don't, not a place that gets a lot of sunshine. So when these days are nice there, everyone's outside. Yeah, it's an awesome place. But with the food there, I'm sure you guys went to some sick dinners, but the food, and then you were in Madrid. Madrid has some unreal food. Barcelona, I mean, you hit a bunch. Was there a highlight of those, say, 4 cities? Was Amsterdam a highlight for you? I loved Amsterdam. I went with my brother. Loved it.
Amsterdam was, Updog, honestly, we had this guy, Captain Jack. If you're ever in Amsterdam and you want to go on a nice little boat cruise, Captain Jack's your guy, great guy. But I'm like, so I went down the red light district with Mac Miller, right? The first night I was just baked and drunk. I'm like, let's go down there. And I couldn't find it. I'm like, she's like, let's go home, all right? So the next night we have dinner again. I'm like, Mac Miller, put it in your phone. Let's go. So she puts it in. When we get down there, and boom, Updog. We're right in the middle of the fucking red light. It is on. It's like, so we're walking through it or whatever. And then I'm like, it's kind of greasy down here. Let's get out of here. So I take a left down this little alleyway that I think's getting me out of there, Updog. And it is just layered with naked chicks. Like every side, it's just like bing, 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 the whole way down the street. All of them just stand there in the red light. But Uppy, it is greasy, man. Like it is, like when I left there, I was like, it was greasy. But anyways, he said like 15 years ago, like Amsterdam was so much different then, you know what I mean? Like it's like now it's really touristy and you can smoke weed everywhere now, right? In California, I can go to the store and smoke weed out. Like it's lost its luster, I think, a little bit, Updog, because weed is legal basically everywhere now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think going to those, the Scandinavian parts of the world, like Holland there, Finland, Sweden, like you're just kind of going there for just a different way of life that these guys, like they all ride their bikes around. Like, did you get almost pegged by guys on bikes?
Dude, there's more bikes.
It's crazy how many.
There's more bikes than people.
I know, they're all buttoned up. They're wearing like suits, ties. They have a sick bag. They're wearing dress shoes and they're just ripping on like these messenger bikes. And like, yeah, there's way more people on bikes than there is any cars on the street, anyone walking on the street. Like you pull up to these restaurants and they'll like the triple stack of bikes on top of each other. But yeah, I just love, European culture in the summer. I mean, next summer, I think we talked about this too, Christine and I with the kids, is like, why not just go over, for the month that you have off, rent like a killer pad in like, Spain somewhere, like in the south, where the water is, and then just have a bunch of people like come visit, whether like, the family comes over, in-laws come over, and you try to get like the 5-6 bedroom house where you stabilize one place, you get to learn their culture, you get to kind of just, I don't know, it helps like your kids. It gives you experiences that you don't usually get when you're like, going back to, Kelowna, or for you, the Muskokas or Newfoundland. Like this, just go take it in while you're young and you can travel. You know what I mean?
Totally. And I'll tell you what, Updog, I thought about you. We went to these cafes because Mac Miller, she's an old school smoker. She likes the bud. She likes the old school bud. So you go in these cafes and you can order whatever you want. It's just a menu of it. And I was like, fuck, back in the day, if we would have came over here with the Updog and Loops, we would have been in there spinning up. You just go in there, you buy your bud, spin it up, sit there, drink. And I mean, the smell of weed in these fucking cafes, Updog. I'm getting old because I'm like, oh man, it stinks in here. I gotta get out. This is almost too much for me. But back
before
in
you used to get a boner going in there.
Oh, I used to love it. So up in Amsterdam, they don't sell weed pens. The weed pens are actually illegal in Amsterdam. So I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? Because I didn't want to roll them up, and we bought a couple pre-rolls. But I'm in this weed store, Updog, and they have, remember the old one-hitters? Remember the old wooden one-hitters we used to have, Updog?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
right.
The cigarettes in them, yeah.
The cigarette. Mac Miller had never seen one. She's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Mac Miller."
Wow.
I mean, this is what me and the Updog and Loops used to smoke. We put it in our golf bag.
Keep it in your golf bag.
Yeah, like because it wouldn't stink like weed. So I'm just going around to Amsterdam. I'm just hitting this little one jammer all the way around Amsterdam, Updog. I was like, it made me think of you boys back in the day. And Bill Brookbank, just you gotta empty it like that. Remember, Ups? You empty it like that, and then you just pack her back up. But these cafes, man. Shout out to my boy, the franchise Shane Taylor, who's, I'll put him up there pound for pound. The one night in the Muskokas, the first day he came up, he took 200 milligrams of gummies right down the hatch. 200 milligrams. Bowango. And then he kept puffing the whole time. I'm like, did you just take 200 milligrams? He's like, 200. I'm like, that is impressive.
200,
he goes in these
yeah,
200.
That's insane. I watched the Joe Rogan thing. He talked about doing that too, go to the airport. I'm like, that's how you might jump out of the airplane. But
hey, Updog, do you think if we went to these cafes, you could still spin up a doobie though, eh? Like if we sat down there, you could still spin one up, right?
Yes. I can spin one up right now if I had any, but I haven't bought bud in I don't know how long.
No, me either. I mean, she's like, I hadn't even seen weed in forever, right? I was just like, I'm like, I look at it. She's like, here, smell this. I'm like, that's nice. And they have the whole. It's a cool thing, but I wish I would have went back in the day with you, Updog. And then last but not least, Barcelona. And the shout out to the Soul House, Uppy. I've been a member for the last 2 or 3 years. I've never used them besides in Nashville with you on the One Fella tour. Great hotels for Europe ups. I mean, big rooms. Everyone's great. The little beach shows in Barcelona is unbelievable. So me and Mac Miller, we lay down, right? Have a little puff, get a beer. And it's just topless Spanish chicks everywhere. I mean, fucking everywhere, Updog, as far as the eye can see. They're there, they're here, and I'm just like, so finally, like, Mac Miller just, like, accepts it, right? That, like, they're everywhere. And then day 2, finally day 3, I'm like, take that off. Like, let's get right into the spirit here, right? So she finally takes it off. And I'll tell you what, Updog, I didn't have to wait more than 2 seconds for a beer. These Spanish guys, every time I need a beer, they're like, cool, right over here. And then these 3 Spanish guys set up shop right beside us, thinking like I didn't see them. And they're just sitting there staring at her the whole time. I'm like, look at these dirty dogs here. But in all seriousness, Updog, it's almost like after being there for 5 or 6 days, at first I was like, wow, they're everywhere. And then it's like, it's almost not like a sexual thing. It's just like the way it is over there. It's their culture. They're not, it's, you know, you kind of get used to seeing it, I guess is what I'm saying. By day 5, I'm like, oh, there's a set. Didn't even really faze me anymore. You know what I mean?
The way you put that now, I hope that we never allow the laws to let them just unleash the dragons, because I like when you just see a random set. Like, I don't want it to just be normal. I would rather just be like, wow, look at those. Like, you know, I don't want to just have everyone showing me their boobs. You know, guys are going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? But it's a special thing. Yeah, it's like getting to the, you know, the end of the rainbow and the pot of gold. There's got to be something like, that you don't know what they look.
Once you peel the curtain open, you're like, hey, there you go. There's that.
You just can't have these knockers just hitting you in the head everywhere you look.
No, but Uppy, it's so true. By the end of the trip, and I think Mac Miller said the same thing. It's like you're just like, oh, okay, well, there's a set of tits, whatever. Like you kind of lose the luster of.
Can I put my face in them?
Yeah. Can I more about those or what? But it was just like it was crazy, but it was a great. I mean, the beaches of Barcelona are unbelievable. Madrid, Uppy, one of the cleanest cities I've ever been to. I only spent one night there, but it was awesome. And shout out to the Missin Curfew fans. I had a lot of guys hit me up in my DMs when I was in London about places to go, Amsterdam places to go, Barcelona. So the fellas out there, Uppy, it was crazy that, you know, get people that, like, obviously listen to us and are, you know, live in these places and, hey, hit this rooftop, let's go here. So to those boys that helped me out, thank you. But it was awesome, Uppy. But I was happy to get home. The fucking Madrid airport, Updog, I must have went through 3 security checks. They checked my passport 3 times. And at the very end, they took Mac Miller in for a little cavity search. She's like, we're about to get on the plane. Like, we gotta check your luggage. I'm like, oh, anything else here? And then it was a 13-hour flight, Updog. So it was a long day.
Yeah, you know what? I flew through there last year, Obi, on my way home, and only spent one night in there. And I don't remember that, but that's a good tip. Because right now, anyone flying through Madrid on your way home, make sure you don't have any extra doobies in your bag. Because, you know, they like to check the Americans.
Careful in Madrid. Don't be fucking around. I had to empty my bag out. Thank God I emptied my bag out before I went there, right? And another thing that's great about Europe, Updog, is buzzing around the trains, right? We took a train from London to Amsterdam. It was 4 hours, but it flew by. And then we took a train from Barcelona to Madrid, which is 2 hours, 2 and change. It was great. It's fun to buzz around the trains over there too.
It's fun to buzz around anywhere. You're so close to everything. And if you have like the home base, and maybe 1 or 2 spots, while you're over there, you hear other people like, oh, they're in the south of France. Let's bomb over there for 3 days. We have these 3 days. We don't really have plans, right? Or fuck, let's go drink some wine in Italy, and you can do so much when you're just home based somewhere there. And that's what I think, you know, we might do that next year. It might be something while the kids are still so young that, you know, just put them up in a house, bring a nanny, and then adults just go have some fun. Go to Ibiza for 2 nights, come back. You know what I mean?
I thought Ibiza was right there, and I didn't go. I was like,
you know what else you just missed? You just missed Tomorrowland. That just went on this past week.
I don't know if I got enough left. I don't know if I got enough left in the tank for Tomorrowland.
I need that.
I need you there for that.
Yeah, that festival. I saw some of the backdrops, and like the production was out of this world. I mean, but I think they do that in the Netherlands somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
Where do they do that? Yeah, I think it's somewhere up north, but it's I mean, fuck. That was like the one OG house festival that really put like house music on the map back then. Right? Like 2008. when like that one YouTube video went around and everyone was like, fuck, where is this? This is all hot chicks and like, you know, the face with the drag, like the fire.
I remember seeing that and being like, boys, we gotta go there. We gotta get over there. Let's go.
Totally. That was like the heart and the beginning of like the David Guetta, you know, Swedish
Avicii,
House. Avicii. Yeah. That was probably 2007, 2008 that went around.
Yeah. The last thing about Europe, I will say this, they got it figured out over there. I know it's summertime and maybe people don't work during the summertime, but like everyone's just out walking around, they're drinking. They just seem to like, they got it figured out, Updog. There doesn't seem to be too much other bullshit going on. I'm sure there is stuff going on, but it just seemed to me over there that everyone was just kind of, I'm sure everyone's on vacay, but it was a nice change of pace is what I'm saying, Ups. It was refreshing over there. Last but not least here, boys, our little intro or catching up. Minor leaguers out. I watched it last night. First of all, honestly, Holly was great. Holly was himself. I want to give some credit to Teemu Solani because Holly was great, but Holly was acting like Holly. Where Teemu, I thought, had to do some real acting because he wasn't really being himself. But I gotta say, I think we stole the show up, Doc. I mean, we have 3 legitimate scenes in it, man. Like we are.
I know we do.
I thought we were just in it for a second. We were in it. So thanks to Dan, Updog. I thought our acting was on point. I sent a video to Kevin Connolly and Sean Avery. I said, boys, be honest. Tell me what you feel. Me and the Updog's first movie scenes acting. But Ups, I thought we killed it, but I gotta be honest.
I thought we did a great job. You're right, buddy. That's why it took so long that day. We had to perfect it. You know, there was a couple takes where we thought we killed it, and he's like, "No, just give me one more." You know, you got a little more oomph to give. You know, you did a great job chirping one of your childhood idols too. So, I mean, it wasn't easy for you, let alone easy for Solani to chirp you because I know he loved you as a teammate. But when you gave it to him, you're fucking walking on eggshells and fuck Teemu. Come on. It was great. And I watched it with Christina and she was like, what the fuck are we watching? I'm like, you got to just take, this is full on hockey talk here. Like you got to accept it. A couple hot babes in the movie. So that was huge. Couple, you know, yeah, it was good. I mean, they did a good job, low budget, had the boys. It's what every hockey guy just wants. A couple childhood idols, you know, guys in their 30s all looked up to Holly and Solani. And now you're getting to see a brighter side of them. And then, you know, even the younger kids now who don't even, you know, Teemu Solani and Brett Hall, they've probably seem like their age is away. Well, now they get the little taste of like the history of hockey with it. I think it's great.
And you got to give Teemu and Holly too. Like that's their first real acting role to be the leads in it and to remember all those lines. And like I said, for Teemu to have to act like someone he's not, I thought he did a great job. I thought the production looked good, but it was a lot of hockey slang. There was a lot of hockey, like you got to be a hockey person. Like even Mac Miller's like, what'd they just say there? I'm like, they're just talking about like top titty and shit like that. You know, it's a hockey thing.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Updog, I got to be honest. I'll say it again. I thought we stole the show, but I mean, you know, look, don't be surprised if your phone starts ringing for some auditions. That's all I'm going to say. But I think, you know, we're on the map. I think we put ourselves on the map. Prince, you did a hell of a job. And Uppy, when the fucking trailer came out, you were all over it. It was you. Like every time I saw it, it was you talking. I'm like, Uppy is all over this trailer. This is unbelievable.
I know. I did my part. I thanked Dan in my little post. I said, and yeah, thanks for putting us on the trailer, Dan. I appreciate that.
Great production. Check it out. It's a funny story. Holly's great, and Holly's just himself. And I love the guy that plays when he hires the guy to play like Gary Bettman. He's like Bettman's getting hookers. He's getting greased by the owners. It was funny. But last but not least, I want to say this too, boys. I got Brad Richardson's wedding coming up this weekend in Flagstaff. Marrying his beautiful girl, Jess. What a crew he's got coming in. Stoley, Teddy, Martinook, Carter, Greener. I'm forgetting some guys. Derek Smith, my boy from Belleville. Jason, I mean, Updog. I'm in for a bender weekend up here in Flagstaff, fella. He's got just the all beauty team coming in.
That city almost took you down last time you were out there. So yeah,
it did. I almost died in the Phoenix airport. I thought I was done there. I was like, oh gosh, it was a good run. But we'll be right back at Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Updog, DraftKings, fella. I don't know how much Olympics you've been watching. I didn't watch a whole lot over there, but on my way back, I took, and I know you had him too, Scottie Scheffler. I'm on the bird back, watching him fire a 62. How are you? A little 62. I got him at plus 400. What a win. I mean, Updog, it was unbelievable to see him coming from behind like that, and I got emotional. It was great for golf. And dude, he striped it, and winner, chicken dinner, Updog.
It was something that I think you can put in anyone's, top highlight reel for him. Like a guy that's setting records and having the season that he had. To come back like that on the back nine and just absolutely shred it.
Sure.
Like DraftKings live odds for him to win going into the back nine was like, you were getting like plus you were getting like plus 6. Yeah. And then as hole went by, like even his shots, so ball striking wise, obviously Scottie Scheffler, everyone knows just how good of a ball striker is. And when he starts to putt, that's when he can take over tournaments. Well, he was hitting the ball like 10, 12 feet, 15 feet. It's not easy to pour those in these fucking moments. And he was just pouring them in. I mean, like the whole field, you can't tell me that John Rahm, the collapse wasn't because he sees Scheffler just making birdie after birdie after birdie. And then you just start squeezing it. I mean, you can't give John Rahm that much, unfortunate, like, yes, he let it go, but when you see that man fucking coming from behind like that and he's playing, you're bound to fuck up. So it was good. I also took your boy that wears our nice friends at Adidas Golf. I took him. I had him at the start of the tournament. I thought just, it's good looking sweet over there. He'd be fucking dialing it in. And then, to touch, if we can switch to tennis, I mean, the men's tennis was incredible. Djokovic, the absolute GOAT for tennis. It was one thing that he had never won. So now you top that off, Olympic gold medal against, Alcaraz, this guy they just played off in the Wimbledon final, just when you were over in Europe. It was an epic match. I don't know. Djokovic to me is just a guy that he's the best of the best. He played an antagonist his whole career with Federer and Nadal being the two, perfect human beings in the sport. And he came in and what a statement. That made me happy seeing him with his kids and just that, you talk about the Olympics and the Eiffel Tower and just how beautiful things look over there. I mean, when you're accepting a gold medal and behind you is the Eiffel fucking Tower and you're just going to go out and have a night in Paris, that's what it's all about.
Go to Titty Twister. I wonder if Titty Twister.
Right to Titty Twister.
Go right to Titty Twister, boys, and have a time.
Moulin Rouge.
What was the line going into that? I wanted to take Joker. I just
minus it was plus 250 for the Joker.
Yeah. Fuck, he was playing with a bad knee too, right? I watched a couple.
He had meniscus surgery 2 months ago.
Crazy.
He dropped out of the French Open and then played in Wimbledon with a bad knee, made it to the final, and then won the Olympics fucking 2 weeks later. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, you could see how much it meant to him too, right? That's kind of like the icing on the cake for his career, right? That was the one thing he hadn't won. He's not a young man anymore. He's playing with a bad wheel, like you said. Having to play against Alcaraz, he's like, what do you say? He's like, I wish you wouldn't get all the balls I hit. Like, I wish you'd lay off on some of them, right? He's like, this guy gets every fucking nugget I hit out there. But it was great. We got U.S. Open tennis coming up, Updog, which I'll look forward to breaking it down with you and watching the U.S. Open. It's probably the only tennis tournament I watch. I watch Wimbledon a little bit, but I do love U.S. Open tennis on prime time under the bright lights in New York. So I can't wait to see that. I did want to talk to you about Paris golf. One more thing. We all know there's no money in the Olympics. Updog, if you show up there for the last round and you're in like 40th place and there's no money on the line, like what's motivating you? Like I can't even get you motivated if we're not playing for hundreds on the back nine at Big Canyon. Like how would you get motivated for the fourth round and you're in 40th place and there's no money on the line? What are you just like representing your country, right? You got to show pride that way.
I'll tell you, you led me right into it, Obes. There needs to be 2 medals given out for golf as there is in other sports, such as, doubles tennis and singles tennis. The golf aspect of tennis should really be counted upon as a team sport. Also, as just to answer your question, that's how you stay in it because your score can help your team win a gold medal or a silver medal. I think it should be minimum 3 to 4 player teams. You still get 6-7 countries that can compete on a real competitive level. And to me, it should be no question 2 gold medals. It's just the same as a relay race, the 4x100 relay race and the 100-meter fucking dash. To me, that would answer the question. And fuck, they're giving medals to anything. There's fucking, there's so many different sports in the Olympics now. There's 3-on-3 basketball. Since when is 3-on-3? What the fuck is that? 3-on-3 basketball?
Get rid of that and bring in like roller hockey. Get roller hockey as a fucking Olympic sport.
Ball hockey or something. Yeah.
Ball hockey. So you would rather see ball hockey over roller hockey, Updog?
For me, I think it's just more of a worldwide sport that you could have different teams compete in, rather than lining up the Russian rollerblade team. I think you could probably find the Russians. That's a bad example. They're not allowed to play.
Updog, I saw one event was literally this guy just holding a gun. Did you see this event? He's just he's just like holding a hand. He's like holding a handgun, and just I text Flowers. I'm like, you could be an Olympian still, buddy. I think you could do this event being from Philly. Just hold the fucking gun. And is that really a fucking a sport?
Yeah, well, it's sharpshooting, and he's the only one that didn't use the special glasses, and he was just gangster style, just like
yeah.
And he came silver, I think, right?
Yeah,
he basically was just looking down the barrel like Tommy gun back in the day or whatever, like an old school Western movie, and he was just it was insane.
I'm like, this is an Olympic event, so we need ball hockey in there. I'll believe you boys over roller hockey, but 3-on-3 basketball, you got to get that out. There's no need for that. What that's stupid.
Yeah. No, I'm stupid. And how about the guy, boys, the pole vaulter that, the size of my microphone, his horn prevented him from winning the gold medal, and he's French too. Like, he's the hometown kid. Almost got over the pole, and then just his schlong.
Shouldn't have put the Cialis in the fucking coffee in the morning. You shouldn't have put the Cialis in there. Because
it's a few, as you know, it could be a long fuse, and you want to be ready to rock and roll for after the match.
I saw this one pole vaulter from, I think he was Brazil, or I watched it yesterday. He was going over this thing by he had 5-6 feet. He was clearing this fucking shit by. How hard do you think that is, Updog? Like, that's got to be I'm too fat to do it, but you could do it up. Do you think you could pole vault yourself up there, fella?
Buddy, trying to get that stick in that little hole. I mean, I used to be good at that a lot.
You made a career off of that.
Trying to get that long stick in that hole and then just to catapult up. I mean, it would be something I'd like to try, but I'd be having to take out an insurance policy.
Canada lost in basketball today to France, which sucks. I wanted to see them play the dream team, Team USA. But listen, when you watch the gymnastics, track and field, and swimming, you want to talk about athletes, man. Like, these people are just freak athletes, Updog. It's insane to me. I was watching, I think, the 200-meter dash yesterday. This guy from the States who won the 100-meter, he turned the corner and stepped on it. I was like, look out. There is nobody catching this guy. And the swimming, it's insane. For a guy who swims and watches those guys, 1,500 meters, they did it in I don't even know what it was, 20 minutes or something, 18, 15 minutes. They're just flying. Crazy.
Well, the Lewicki girl from the U.S., she does that 1,500 and kicks everyone by 2 lengths. She won by 2 lengths. The best in the world. And then it just proves just how good Michael Phelps was back in the day when, he just beats everyone's ass, with no question. He was nasty.
I saw a picture of him with all his gold medals around his neck. My God. I mean, it's just insane. It's just insane. Well, Updog, last but not least here for DraftKings, baby, the women's golf is going to start Thursday. I took Nelly Korda, +500, defending gold medalist. Big fan of her, man. She's been dominating all year. She's the Scottie Scheffler of women's golf. I think she gets it done again. So Nelly, I put a little Stizich on you. Let's go, baby. +500. I like that, Ups.
Hey, she's a good-looking girl. And, back-to-back gold medals will be something for her. But she's the Scottie Scheffler of the LPGA Tour. She's kicking everyone's ass. And there's no bigger tournament for her than representing her country, I'm sure.
Yeah, go get it. Good luck to her. The golf was awesome. The tennis was great, Updog. It's been fun to watch. So, Updog, get this guy a beer presented by our friends at Labatt Blue. Shout out to our boy Mike Smith at Sauce Hockey. Smitty, get yourself a blue light. Monty texts me 3 nights before his cup party and says, Obes, I want one of those I can't tone it tan shirts. I'm going to wear it with the cup. I'm drunk in fucking somewhere, Amsterdam or wherever. I get on the blower. I'm like, Smitty, you got to make this happen. You fucking got it. I don't care if you got to drive it to fucking Ontario yourself. Make this happen, fella. So he gets it. He's like, oh, the shipping is going to be $95. I said, whatever, let's do it. Boom, got it there the morning of. Monty wore it with the cup. So Smitty, get yourself a Labatt Blue, Updog. He came through for the boys.
What a tarp, Obes. I had people sending me that photo going, will you please get me this tarp? It looks just super tight on Monty, fella. That was a nice surprise. I woke up that morning seeing our swag. You've come a long way in 4 years doing Missin Curfew when boys are asking for a little swag to do the cup. And I'd also like to thank our boys at 36 Wines who sent us the wines for our boy pickup last year. Tom Riley. They made Ike's a Golden Knights congratulations bottle. Well, they sent for Ekblad and for Matty Tkachuk, they sent them a box of wine, and then, they're going to make them their own 3-liter bottle, which is badass. But, anytime these guys are winning the cup and celebrating with their families, it's such a good time to just, partake. And I'm just happy that we can share either a tarp or some nice wine for the boys. But what a time of year when that cup comes around. I'm sure those boys are just sending it.
Yeah, and Updog, you teed me right up to my next. Get this guy Labatt Blue. It's just called the Summer of Chucky. Matty Tkachuk, have yourself a fucking summer, fella. Have yourself a summer. He's doing everything and more than I thought he would. He's enjoying every second of it. He went to Lake Tahoe, played in that tournament that we got to get the Updog in someday. Hanging out with Kelsey and who's the guy from Top Gun?
Miles Teller. Hanging out, playing beer pong with those guys. Brought the cup to St. Louis. Took it to a hospital. Did the right thing there. Had an unbelievable picture with him and his old man. His old man, I think, might have been lighting a match off the cup, smoking a cigar. And anyways, to Chucky, buddy, good on you, Updog. He's living the dream. Get Matthew Tkachuk a blue light. Yeah, it's incredible, buddy. That's the long road traveled from his days with the Flames right into a Stanley Cup loss to a Stanley Cup championship, all in a couple of years. And, proud of him. But watching Big Walt do the summer of Big Walt, you can even see that too, by the way.
Big Walt's a fucking beauty, man. Is he not a beauty? He's just it was so good.
One of a kind.
And then last but not least, Updog, I thought about you this too. Shout out to Travis, our boy Travis. Him and his beautiful girlfriend Laura came up for the weekend in the Muskokas with my boy, the franchise, and Steve Cramp. And we were supposed to go to a concert to the Key to Bala. And we go to this bar before the show, and the guy's like, hey, fella, there's a Tragically Hip cover band playing at Muskoka Brewery. I'm telling you to go there. So shout out to this band called the Practically Hip. Updog, they were unbelievable. You would have thought it was Gordy up there, man. It was sick. We're in the woods, in this little wooded area, listening to Tragically Hip tunes. Everybody was jamming out. The beers were flowing. So to the band, Practically Hip, get yourself a Labatt Blue, Updog. It was sick.
No one loves them more than Travis, too, by the way. That's who I watched.
Travis loves them.
That's who I watched the last show ever, man, in Kingston with, was Travis and his brother. How sick is this pad up there? Do they got a nice tight pad in the Muskokas?
Well, he came and stayed with me, but he's buying a pad on Clear Lake, where it's in the Kawarthas. I think Paris has a place on Clear Lake, and he showed me the pictures of it, and it's going to be a banger that he's going to buy. But yeah, they came up and just stayed with me for one night. They came in, spent the day on the lake, and then we went and watched the Practically Hip, and then who knows what happened after that. I mean, he knew he loves the hip hops. He knew every tune. We were singing. It was a time, fella. And then last but not least, to get this guy a beer, John Cooper's the head coach, and what a job he's done bringing guys around him. Pete DeBoer, Bruce Cassidy, but the one I want to say is Rick Tocchet. Talk's good on you. What a coaching staff. I think Rick Tocchet's going to be a tremendous asset to that team. And I guarantee you there will be blue lights in that coach's room, in that fridge, because that is an all beauty fucking coaching staff, Updog.
Yeah, I'm sure curfew won't be applied to the fellas for that tournament when those boys are leading the charge. But I cannot wait to see how this lineup plays out with, the competition, the start of the year, and a guys like knowing that their first couple months, so you get off to a good start, you're kind of on the bubble to make that team, just what that team's going to look like and what the tournament's going to play out to be like.
And I will say this, Updog, to Coop and Talks and the staff, it's not too late to bring me in the Updog in. If you need some advisories, bring me in the Updog in. Short tournament, we're the guys you want to come in there and get the mojo going. Hey, Ups, so Coop, Talks, you got our numbers. It's not too late to bring us in. Hey, Ups, we'll be ready.
That's right, buddy. That's right.
We'll be there.
No. We can dust off our blades if they need us to go out there for little skills. Yeah. Snap it back, boys. Hey, even walk the blue line. Teach Makara to walk the blue line like you used to, bud.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, it's good for hockey. I cannot wait. I saw a picture of McDavid in a Canada jersey. I mean, tell you what, does he look good in that, boys? Hey, that 97 in that Canada jersey, I cannot wait to see him go buck Diddy around the Bell Center and TD Garden. I can't wait, Ups.
Looks as good as almost those synchronized swimmers when they're hanging upside down. I'd say it looks that good, yeah.
No kidding. Updog, it's milk carton time here at Missin Curfew. Listen, I love these boys. Jay Swish, the Heat Daddy. I love what they're doing. I love them both. They're both great for hockey. They're both great for content. Jay Swish, I heard him chirping pickleball the other day, saying it's not a sport. Not a sport. Well, Swish, here you go, fella. Me and the Updog are going to challenge you and the Heat Daddy to a best of 5 pickleball on camera for our YouTube channels. Me and the Updog versus you boys. And Jay Swish, I may be fat and over the hill, but I'll prove to you that pickleball is a sport. Once the Updog starts spinning it and I start attacking the net and we start using our forces, it's on, Updog. You cool with that? I'm challenging those boys to a pickleball match this year.
I'm skinny and horned up, so I think we got a good squad here, me and you. We'll be firing on all cylinders, and we'll pick the location, boys. We'll do it wherever you want. You want it in your home backyard, you want it in Big Canyon, you want it in Newport Beach. We'll take you boys on. Let's go.
Yeah, I love those boys. But Jay Swiss, you're on the milk carton, fella, and bring it on. Me and the Updog will be ready for you boys. Rumor mill here at the Missin Curfew. Updog, I wanted to get your thoughts on this, buddy, because I know how much you love Connor Bedard. There's a rumor that they're thinking about making him the next captain this year as a 19-year-old. I think it's a bad idea personally. I just wanted to get your opinion on a guy who was captain for Team Canada, first rounder. Do you think this is a good idea for them to give him the captaincy at this young of an age? They did it with Gabriel Landeskog in Colorado, and it's worked out great, obviously. But I just think he's too young, Ups.
To me, Jonathan Toews was given the leadership role at a very young age. I don't know what age, Princey. I think it was 20, 21. At the same time, Mike Richards was given the captaincy in Philadelphia at 21 or 22. And there was kind of a change of the guards, like the new young players that wear their heart on a sleeve, that are obviously high draft picks, your generational players, your guys that are going to be there forever. Give them the captaincy. Let them start to be responsible for, leadership roles, meeting the coaches, speaking on behalf of the team. Do I think Connor Bedard has it in him at this age? I think you're not born to be that good of a hockey player and not carry some leadership qualities, Obi. So at some point, I think he's the captain. If now's the time, jersey sales go through the roof. Is there another guy in your room that you want to wear the C before him? I don't think so. So I think it's a great move. I think it creates a little bit of excitement for the team. I think you tell him, you're our guy. We're investing in you. You're now wearing the C. That's going to be good to get other free agents in town that want to help you and want to help us build a good, be competitive team here for the next bunch of years. I think it's good. Connor McDavid was given the C at a very young age. There's only certain few players I would say it works for. Connor Bedard, to me, is one.
It's a great point by you by jersey sales. Never thought about that. Everyone, unless you want to go and just buy the C and put it on the jersey, right? You got to go buy a new jersey. You got to buy a new jersey. Unless you just take up. Remember the tape when you used to be a kid? You just put the C on with the tape. Maybe you just
you get it this game, I get it next game, right? Fuck.
Save a buck or two, but that's a good point, Updog. That's why you're a businessman. Good point by the jersey sales. Listen, when you brought up Jonathan Toews, well, I think it's to me, I wouldn't do it right now. It's the same as whoever's going to be the next captain of the Anaheim Ducks. You're replacing Ryan Getzlaf. The next captain of the Chicago Blackhawks has got to replace Jonathan Toews. 3 Stanley Cups. Everything we know that he did through a whole organization. It's just like there's already enough pressure on this kid. Is he ready? I don't know. When they gave it to Gabriel Landeskog, I was all for it. Landy was more mature than me, more mature than most guys. I thought it was good on him. But they put some pressure on Landy that year that he didn't handle the right way. Like he thought he had to change and be somebody different and this and that. I'm like, Landy, just be yourself. So for me, I think they should lay off an Updog. But if you're trying to sell jerseys, it's not a bad idea, actually. It's not a bad idea.
No, you're right. You're right. And he is a great kid, and he is a natural-born leader. He's very gifted. He's what the NHL needs. I think it's great for the Chicago Blackhawks and their city. Their city needs a little bump anyway.
He's not going to wear that bubble this year, is he? I mean, I'm looking at a picture
No.
He's going to take that off, right? He's going to take that off.
No, he's going to play with his head up, is what he's going to do, and he's going to be a good player this year. What did he get? 24 last year, 25 goals,
20 something, yeah.
20, yeah. So he's count on him, getting into the 30s, maybe 40 goals this year, Obes.
They do have a better team than last year, and we'll obviously get into that before the season starts. But last but not least here on Missin Curfew, back up the Brinks truck, Updog. A lot of guys have been signed. That Brock Faber got paid 8 years, 68 bananas. I love the little video that came out of Bill Guerin where he's like, you sure you want to sign this? or you want to take another second to think about it, there's not much to think about. Hey, Updog with the 68 bananas. But a couple sneaky signings here. I want to say to my Vancouver Canucks fans, Daniel Sprong, 975, right-handed shot, can score, competes. Rick Tocchet will make him compete even harder. I think that is a sneaky good signing for the Vancouver Canucks. I expect big things from him. And then the Colorado Avalanche, Shellington, 1 year, $1 million. Updog, he can skate, he can move laterally, and he can play at the pace of play that the Avalanche want to play with. And now, to me, if you want to split Taves and Makar up at times, you can put this kid with Makar. Fuck, you can put me with Makar. But what I'm saying is the way he can skate, the way he can join the rush, his foot speed, he's tailor-made for the Avalanche, Updog. And those, to me, are two signings that I think are going to be sneaky and really good for both teams that I'm probably going to have some money on to win the Western Conference and win the Stanley Cup. Those two teams and the Oilers, of course.
I just going to pick out this kid, this Travis Konechny. I think Briere did a great job locking him up. 8 years, 70 bananas, 8.75 to live in Center City, Philadelphia, and compete for the Flyers. I think he's a heart and soul guy on the team. He's hated by other teams. He plays a fucking very edgy game, which I love. So does the Philadelphia fans. So clearing him up was an important piece to them being successful, and I'm happy they did it. And then just another guy is this Martin Nasus. He is nasty. So 2 years, 13 bananas. It seems like Carolina, they've struggled to do the business side of things with a lot of guys, but this is one you got to lock this kid up. He had a great year. He can score goals. It's obviously an area of concern for these guys, but I like watching him play. I think he's a great player, and that's a nice little 2-year ticky.
Yeah, and I want to talk about Quinn Byfield. I think it's a great deal, a great job by Rob Blake. It's a good deal for him, too, at 5 years at 31 bananas. But I do believe in the last couple of years of that contract that Quinn Byfield will be underpaid. And I don't know why more GMs don't try to lock up these guys to deals like that. Instead of giving them 8 years and the fucking keys to the city, you give him 5 years, you give him the security that he can relax and take a breath, but he still has to earn his way through this contract, right? Like, it's a lot of money, but it's not the 8 years max deal that a lot of these GMs hand out. So Blakey, I've been critical of him at times. I love him as a person. I think that's a great deal for both people. And by the end, I think that will be a bargain for the LA Kings, Updog, because I think this Byfield's turning himself into a player. Boys, Updog, great seeing you, buddy. I miss you. You're back next week in Newport, correct? I think we might be breaking news here. Me and the Updog might be taking batting practice at Angel Stadium next week. So, Princey, we'll let you know if that's official.
Content creators.
I got a bad shoulder. I don't even know if I can get it, Updog, but I'm going to swing from the fucking ass. I'm
going to take some extra Life Force testosterone therapy and just get out there and just start hitting Barry Bonds bombs. Let's go.
Princey, buddy, thanks for all your hard work. Keep the off-season content coming. Good seeing you. Enjoy PI, buddy. That's a great time. Keep your head down. Low and slow, buddy. Low and slow.